Yo, what's poppin'? Welcome to Bhroman Braapsody. Here at Bhroman Braapsody, we review cars and motorcycles. I am the host for your motorcycles and the punk does the cars. Today we are at Indian Motorcycles Greensboro. That's Morgan, he's our service manager. Thank you for having us. What is this? What are we reviewing today?
This is the 2021 Chieftain Dark Horse. It's going to be sleek, modern, and have all the amenities you want with all the power that you need.
Awesome. Don't go anywhere. We're gonna talk about the bike, see some of the cool features, take it out on the road, share my thoughts, talk about the cost of ownership, and assign it a score. Chieftain looks like a little brother of the Roadmaster, right?
So the Roadmaster is actually the Chieftain, just with all of the bonus accessories. The big differences that you're going to notice between the Chieftain and the Roadmaster is going to be the trunk. The heated or heated and cooled seat, depending on which model Roadmaster that you go for. Lowers, passenger floorboards, heated grips, and taller windshield. On the Chieftain Dark Horse, you've got all blacked out accessories, so your lights, your heat shields, all of the different engine parts are all blacked out. You've got the chopped fender, you've got closeouts in the rear, giving you a clean rear end look. But then you also have the different ride modes. So you're going to have the Sport, Tour, and Standard, just like every other full-size Indian on the market. You've also got a cruise control and electronic start, and it is a smart start. So once the bike is initiated, the power sequence, it's one hit and start.
Yep.
So from 2021 to 2020 to 2021, there was one major change. They actually got rid of the power button on the front of the screen. So instead of a power button, they've replaced it with a pigtail plug. So you can actually plug heated gear, cell phones, or any other plugs into this, and they move the power button over to the control cube on the right-hand side.
And that could also work as your battery tender, right?
Yes, you can also plug in and charge your battery from there. That way you can maintain it and give you a longer life.
Yeah, because I think in the older ones, you used to have a pigtail down below that you had to fish out. I mean, it was not inconvenient, but you had to chill.
You'll still have a pigtail behind this side panel. And then at our dealership, we still install another pigtail that goes right between there and the engine.
So you get
three. That way you get a backup and some changes from where it will be. It also gives you more opportunities so you can charge your phone, charge heated gear, anything else that might be on the bike.
This does not have a trunk like the Roadmaster, but I'm assuming you can get one?
Anything on the Roadmaster can be added to the Chieftain. It's just a matter of where you want to be and what accessories that you want to put on it. So if you know you're going to be doing a lot of long distance rides, the trunk is guaranteed something that you want. If you want to ride for an extra month in the winter and an extra month in the spring, get the heated and cooled seat and then go for the lowers. Put the lowers on, it's 3 bolts on either side, and it gives you an extra month of riding season for each time, which gives you a whole extra 2 months of riding throughout the year, just because you blocked off some of the extra cold or heat.
That is true. Indian Motorcycle Greensboro is located in the historic downtown of Greensboro, North Carolina. It's a boutique dealership with 95% Indian motorcycles and 5% Polaris Slingshot. Go check them out. So looking at the Chieftain from the front, you'll see it has a nice profile, nice angles and lines to it. It does not have the driving lights. You can install them later on. It has an LED Pathfinder headlight and that little Indian headrest there, but that does not light up. This bike has a 25-degree rake angle. What's a rake angle? Well, draw a perpendicular from the steering mount, follow the fork tube, that angle is your rake angle. Shorter the rake angle, the more nimble the bike is, and larger the rake angle, the more stable the bike is at higher speeds and such. This is a 116 cubic inch engine. This is the Thunderstroke 116. If you look closely on the left side of your bike, right below the cylinder, you see that little Indian logo there with initials on it? Those are the initials of the person who built and inspected this engine. Those are your tail lights and turn signals. You have the two slammed saddlebags. You have your two exhausts, and this does not have a tour pack or a trunk, so you get that clean, neat look from the back. You have the hard slammed saddlebags on both sides. To open them, I like these saddlebags that open from the top, just because it's easier to get stuff into it and out. So you just press this button and pull it open. The saddlebags are hard saddlebags. They are quite deep and spacious. And on the top, you have the 12-volt power outlet here. Since this is a Dark Horse model, you see even the engine parts are all blacked out. This looks pretty nice. I love it. If you see the exhaust, that's blacked out too. This is the tank. You have this little leather insert here. This looks cool with the Indian logo. This is a blank switch, but this is the switch for your heated grips. The heated grips don't come standard on the Chieftain, but you can add them, and that's where they'll go. This is your central locking of the saddlebags, and it has two fuel caps. This one is just for show and look, and to make it look symmetrical, but this is your actual gas cap. This is a nice fairing. You have speakers on each side. These are 50-watt speakers each, so 100-watt speaker system. You have your infotainment screen, your speedometer, tachometer, a little storage space here with the USB cable outlet, and you have this windshield that you can adjust. I love these Indian teardrop shaped mirrors. Every Indian has this, and this looks so cool. The buttons on your left hand side, you have the buttons for your horn, high beam, low beam, passing lights, turn signals. Turn signals, if you push it in, that's your hazard. This button is your music control, so you can mute your music or skip tracks, and this is to go through the menu. And on top you have a little trigger. On top you have a trigger here that is so that you can toggle through the different screens on the right command center. On the right hand side you still have that beautiful mirror. This is your start stop button and the kill switch. That's your power button. Then you have buttons to set your cruise control, and this is the button that you'd use to control the windshield. I can never get old of seeing the startup screen on these bikes. Yeah. Just love that graphic there. On the speedometer here you have your fuel range. It gives you your fuel gauge and the fuel range, sorry. And then you have lights for miles per hour, kilometers per hour, cruise control on, cruise control set, left turn signal, high beam, neutral, low on gas, and the kickstand light. On your right hand side, this is your tachometer with a little digital display here that tells you which gear you're on, and your odometer. And then you have lights here. This is for your error warning, low tire pressure, oil, battery, right turn signal, ABS, and check engine light. And now there are a bunch of screens on the right command center, and all of them, I mean, there are a few split screens here, and you can toggle through these by pressing that first button, and it gives you a lot of information that you'd like. Fuel range, this comes with a TPMS, so it gives you your tire pressure, what gear you're on, fuel range, and these screens are all customizable. Like, you can customize all of these screens. If you press on that little settings button there, it pulls up all of these different widgets that you might want, and you can drag and drop them as you want. See, this has a widget for your Apple CarPlay, so this bike comes with Apple CarPlay as well. Tells you your fuel economy, tire pressure, and if you have your garage door opener installed, you can use that too. And to customize the screen, it's very simple. All you got to do is pick this and pull it wherever you want it to go, and boom, it's done. And to select it, just click on done, and see, now you have your garage door opener there. How cool is that? Then you have buttons for your navigation. You can connect your phone, play your music, and all of that good stuff. And for your music, you have a lot of options. You have AM, FM, weather, USB, iPod, or you can play it through Bluetooth. And then if you click on that Indian button there, Indian logo, that brings up your driving modes. So you have Tour, Standard, Sport. You can adjust your brightness. If you have notifications and that warning message, this is where you'll see it. And then you can go into it, and there's so many options in here. You can select, you can go through it, select all of your different things. You can connect your ride command accounts, select your Bluetooth devices, language, and all of that. Set your time, set your audio. You can set automatic volume control, so that's your speed control. And there's a bunch of these awesome features. To the left, you have this blank button here. This is where you would install the switch for your driving lights. All right, so let's get on with it. So the first things first, this has a 64-inch wheelbase, which makes this bike really easy to maneuver. Really easy to maneuver. See, you can go in circles all day long. Wow, this is a very well balanced bike. I'm gonna give him that. So before we head out, let's make sure we are in the standard mode. Yes, we are. So let's get on with it. So unlike the Indian Vintage, this has a proper fairing with the speakers and the display and all of that good stuff. The riding position or the seating position is very comfortable. I'm 5'10" with a 31-inch inseam, and I'm pretty comfortable. These floorboards are nice and big. The handlebars are pulled back towards me, and they are a little compact than my Roadmaster, which is not a bad thing. It's a very good riding position. And in the standard mode, this bike just loves to chug along, and I love that little chugga sound that this bike makes. Well, let's find out how good this thing can pull, shall we? To do that, let's go ahead and put it in sport mode. There we go. So we'll go. Man, this 116 Thunderstroke engine with the 126 foot-pound of torque and all of that, with this 800-pound frame, this bike is quick. It's a fun bike. Look at it. It's quick and it's nimble. It's so nimble. I really like it. I like the style. Now the seating position and the riding position is quite compact, and that's probably because of the seat as well. You could get a reduced reach seat or different kinds of seats, and that might help. But that's not a bad thing. I'm not knocking it for its seating position. I like it. It's nice and comfy too. But it's compact, which makes handling a breeze. Now we are. Now this has the rear cylinder deactivation, so when you're stopped at a red light or something, it helps of sorts. Let me go ahead and put it back in touring mode. This does not feel like a big and heavy bike. I mean, it is. That was a Yamaha Eluder, I think. Now this is an 800-pound bike, but it really doesn't feel that heavy. This feels quite well balanced, and even when you're stopped, it has a really low seat height, so it's really easy to flat-foot it. And I love that little chugga sound. I love the V-twin chugga sound, man. Nothing comes close to the V-twin chugga. This is nice. Oh, let's check out the windshield. Can we move it when we're moving? Ah, yeah, boy, you can. It comes up, double click, it goes down. Now, as for the wind protection, because this thing has a fairing,
it stops a lot of wind anyway, so I'm not getting blasted by a lot of wind on my upper body and torso. This does not have the lowers, so of course I'm gonna feel some wind in my legs, but you could always get lowered for that. And look at it, it's so nimble, man. It's really nimble, and it's a really happy bike. It just loves to chugga along like it's nobody's business. Now, could you use this bike for daily commuting? I think you can. This has a decent amount of space in the saddlebags and stuff, and it's quite smooth and easy to ride. And it's not a big heavy bike. It is heavy, but it's not long and wide, so you could you use this for long distance touring? Oh, absolutely you could. This is built for that. You might want to add like a tour pack, which is basically the trunk, and of some lowers to help with the wind protection. But otherwise, other than that, yeah, it can. You can use this for long distance touring. And like Morgan said, you have accessories for everything. Like Indian provides you accessories for every single thing, so you can accessorize this motorcycle to your liking. You see that little icon there that has an X by one of the cylinders? That's telling you that cylinder deactivation is on. So like back in the day, up until I think 2019, the Chieftains used to come with the 111s, and to get to the 116 you would have to get what they'd call the big bore kit, which is the stage 3, and that would change your cams and all of that, and that would be a 116. But now you get the 116 as standard, and you can still add a stage 1 kit, that's your intake and exhaust, and a stage 2 kit, which is your cams. But right now from Indian, 116 is the largest motor they have to offer. Now, is this a good bike for beginners? Well, if you are brand new to motorcycling, you've never ridden a day in your life, and you want to hop on to one of these things, then nope. This is a 800-pound bike. This has a decent amount of power, and this costs in the high 20s. When you combine all of those together, it's heavy, powerful, and expensive. So no, not a good beginner bike. But if you are looking, if you've been riding for a bit and now you want to get into something that'll be more friendlier towards touring, then yeah, this could be it. And so yeah, go check it out at your local Indian dealership. And hey, if you go to Indian Motorcycles Greensboro, tell them the Bhromance sent ya, and they will take care of you. Well guys, keep your knees in the breeze, and let's go to the punk and wrap up this video.
So let's talk about the cost of ownership for the Indian Chieftain. It would require a service every 5,000 miles, and the tires for this motorcycle are the Metzler Cruise Techs. Those should give you about 10,000 miles. So assuming you ride 5,000 miles a year, this is going to be your cost of ownership over a 2-year period. You would need 2 services, and each service is about $260 at your local Indian dealership. So that's $520, and a set of those tires and the cost of installing them is about $500. So over a 2-year period, your total is going to be $1,020. Divided by the number of days, it's about $1.4 a day. So the Chieftain is to Indian what the Street Glide is to Harley. And the Chieftain combines power, handling, technology, and a lot of other features. It has a 65-inch wheelbase. It has a cast aluminum frame. The engine it's powered by a 116 Thunderstroke engine, and the whole engine is mounted a lot lower. So the lightweight and the lower center of gravity make it so easy to handle and so easy to take it around corners. The saddlebags have more than 18 gallons of storage space in them. You have those 3 riding modes. You have ABS as standard. It looks really amazing in the Dark Horse trim with all of the parts blacked out, and it just looks so neat, so cool. So it combines the looks with the power and performance and handling and storage and technology. So let's assign it a score, shall we? On the looks, it's a 9 out of 10. On the Braap, it's an 8 out of 10. On the maintenance, it's an 8 out of 10. And on the comfort, it's a 9 out of 10. For a combined Bhromance score of 8.5 out of 10. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.